Hi everybody, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate two assisted living facilities, and I created this channel to help people like you learn the ins and outs of investing in assisted living. Welcome to Assisted Living Investing. In my last video, I talked about how much does an assisted living operator make? What's that process like? How much can you expect to make? So go ahead and watch that video to get some information on that. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be an effective assisted living operator. I talked about that in a previous video, how I operate a facility remotely. So go ahead and watch that video. It's going to give you a little bit of information. But one thing I want you to kind of be aware of is being an operator of a facility is not necessarily a passive thing. Now, over time, it can become more and more passive, but it's still going to require you to be involved in the business and be aware of everything that is going on. You still need to be involved in the business. If you get in there and you step away thinking that things are just going to run themselves, or you get in and with the expectation that you're not going to have to do anything, you're going to be mistaken. Things are going to fall through the cracks, and those cracks over time are just going to come a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point that you're going to have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money, a lot of resources to get things fixed and taken care of. So the more that you're engaged in your business, the easier it's going to become, and the more quickly that you can address some of those issues that could end up being huge gaps in your business. So just stay engaged, stay working on those things, and everything's going to work out. The more active you are, especially in the beginning, and the more consistent you are over time, it's just going to be easier to maintain operations at your facility. And I've also, as I mentioned, I have a video on how to operate your facility remotely, how I do that. And I'll put that in the card, and also add my template down below for running meetings with your facility administrator, how I do that, the types of things that I talk about. And I talk about that in that video that I just referenced. You can find that as a resource as well on assistedlivinginvesting.net. So visit me over there on the website. Would love to see you over there. And you can get some of those free resources on the website. Next big key thing that you need to do as an assisted living operator, the next big thing you got to do is to communicate. I talk about this all the time. You're probably getting sick of me talking about it, but you have to communicate. It's such a key aspect of being an effective operator of a facility, of being a business owner, of being a successful employee of everything. Being a good communicator is going to be key. So you need to practice that. You need to be good at it. You need to continue working on it. You need to communicate things to your expectations to your administrator and to the staff. You need to communicate to the rest of the ownership group. You need to have conversations. You also need to communicate and coordinate with other groups of people. Some of those other groups of people that you need to be aware of that you're going to be having to have conversations with are, insurance, attorneys, representatives from the state, representatives from Medicaid, payroll vendors, CPAs, other professionals, just all of those types of people that you just don't think about as you're getting started. You're going to have to continue having conversations with them. They don't take a lot of time. We're working through some insurance stuff right now with one of our facilities, renewing things and things like that. And so it's having email conversations, just being responsive and making sure I get the information to them as quickly as I can, so we don't miss any steps and there aren't delays and we don't get any penalties and things like that. And so it's just having constant communication and making sure that you're talking with people. They really don't take a lot of time if you're just consistent with it. Once you get things set up, it does become more passive. It takes a lot of time up in the beginning. And then as long as you are just kind of consistently talking and not letting things fall through the cracks, you're going to be fine. And it goes through. And transparency and everything is just going to be key with everything you do in being an effective communicator. Your conversations with your administrator, with all of those different professionals I just listed, the other people in your ownership group, you want to make sure you're transparent over communicating things. It's key. It's going to help you be successful. The next big thing would be setting expectations. It's extremely important for you to set expectations, especially in the beginning when you're taking over operations. Communicate your expectations, specifically around the things like meeting attendance, emails, and how quickly people are responding to emails, phone call and text message responsiveness, and how quick people are getting back to you there. Facility occupancy goals, for example, you want to make sure you have an outline. We're profitable only if our break-even point is X amount of residents. We need to keep this amount of residents in our facility. Make sure you're communicating that. Don't just assume that your administrator knows that information. Have conversations and make sure that it's clear with them. Setting your expectations from the beginning and then communicating those things to your facility administrator will help things just run so much more smoothly over time. So just make sure you're doing that. Set those expectations. Actually, in the next video, we're going to get into how I set expectations for my assisted living facility administrator, the process that I go through, and give you some suggestions on what you might consider doing as you are getting into that process. Trying to set expectations for your own facility administrator. So make sure you go and watch that video. Just a reminder, to learn more about investing in assisted living, make sure you visit me on assistedlivinginvesting.net. Would love to see you over there on the website. I've got content, the ability to kind of set up some consulting calls with me so we can get into your specific situation and how I can help you through that process. And then follow me on my other social media platforms. Would love to see you there. And then just another reminder, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep making progress step by step by step. You're going to be able to do it. Just keep making progress. You will be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.